Alright, so before we get into this, I want you guys to know that this is a previous student, so some of the issues that players usually have will not be found in his overall profile or gameplay, or at least not as much. And also, this is not quite as a session would go, because obviously I'm talking by myself, and there is not another persona here. However, this is kind of how replay analysis would look like. So let's get into it. Before we jump into gameplay, I will usually watch over your profile. So as I said, I talked to this guy previously and we resolved some of the issues. His OPGG would look pretty decent, having one main champion in Kaisa. However, the overall gameplay was not as great because Kaisa is a pretty hard mechanical champion, and the skills that he had previously wouldn't allow him to unlock the full potential of the champion, so we resolved it by such a simple way, by just picking a way simpler mechanical champion so you can focus on the overall role, not as much on the champion. So if you decided to play Varus, you can also play Ashe or Misfortune or even Kog'Maw, depending on what you like more. In this scenario, we have Varus on our hands, one champion and one champion only. One tricking is really good for learning purposes, at least in the beginning in lower MMRs. Alright, so what we should look at is champion pool. We decided about that. Then itemization, I've talked to him previously, so there shouldn't be any issues with itemization. He's going for quite good items. In general, it seems that he's adapting to different scenarios. I will not look through all of them, it's pointless. What we want to look at is CS ratios now. So he has some bad games, some good games, right? But his overall consistency seems quite nice. 8, 8, 8. Some of the games have 6 or 10, but it seems that 7, 7.5 should be like the overall. Okay, 7.8 actually, so quite a good CS ratio, especially for playing a champion only for 20 games, which seems really good. Full trinket consistently, all good. Alright, so let's get into gameplay. Some happened early game or he just AFK'd, I don't know, so he ended up not leashing. Let's watch it on 1.5 so we go a bit faster. Lane starts. Alright, he missed on 1 minion experience, which is quite impactful because of the way that level 2 works on bot lane. Okay, now his positioning is quite not the greatest, because Thresh can be here and throw a hook at you, then Ashe follows with W, Thresh auto attacks. You get chunked for no reason. You can wait for the wave and then walk up with it. This trade was really poor. Tried to trade with Ashe previously, but he ended up losing the trade because he didn't have his cooldowns up while Ashe did. Such a simple concept. Still not applicable. This is really good. He backs off the moment he realizes that they're gonna get level 2. He surrenders priority over the wave, which is completely fine. You cannot do anything about it when this stuff happens. CSing Arna Tower, okay. That was quite... oh, okay. His CSing league seems like really... that Q was pure tilt. I can tell you that much. Okay. He's coming back on track with his CS, but he missed quite a lot. His positioning right here was really good, so he denies the opportunity from Thresh to hook. Always playing against a CC type of champion that gets blocked by minions. It's trying to have CS in between you is always a good idea. So positioning wise really good. Small trade here and there when he doesn't have anything to CS. Throwing a Q, missing it, quite painful. Trading auto attack for auto attack with a support is always bad because he has more potions than you, and also Thresh auto attack is empowered, so Varus does not have that. This Eivor is really good, so Ashe cannot follow up and maybe potentially kill Gragas. This slow right here was really efficient. These guys are not going there, which is completely fine. Poking a bit, pretty good. Usually you would much rather aim your abilities to the ADC since they have lower potions and also they are the ones that need to walk up for CSing, which makes them way more vulnerable. Alright, Gragas since this is really good. Do not throw your abilities until you're guaranteed to hit. If you can auto-attack, why not just auto-attack? You maximize little tempo duration really well. I think this should have been a kill if he played it a bit better. This should have been a double kill. So Gragas since, which is completely fine, your support will end. You need to like... Alright, so first thing, pop a potion, pop a biscuit. Kill Ashe, good. Now, right now, you have heal and you know that he doesn't have ignite, so you have a huge HP, and also if you pop potions you should be around 190, 120, 200 or something, then you can also heal, so you're not that concerned with the CS aggro, even if it's quite relevant. This scenario it shouldn't be. So his clicks are right here, which means that he's kiting backwards as an usual ADC. However, if you would have popped this earlier and you start kiting like this, so you do not allow him any escape paths, you end up probably killing Trash without many difficulties. But right now he just surrendered the kill. As you can see, he needed 3 more auto attacks to kill him, so his heal, potion and biscuit would have been more than enough if he would kite it towards the tower instead of kiting backwards. However, it's fine, these mistakes happen. Now he's just looking to crash and get a good recall. Mastery is doing something, cannot help, so he doesn't even look, even if he should, because who knows, in other scenarios maybe he's in a better spot to help his jungler. Alright, this is really greedy recall. If any support mains are watching, when the enemy laner crashes a wave and backs off, they're looking usually to recall, so what you can do, you just step up and see if you can cancel those recalls. If Thresh were to be cancelling this guy recall right now, he would lose quite a lot from it. He's stuck in lane with really bad stats, or he's forced into a really poor recall. Always stay on the last brick of the fountain, you can regen right there, no issues. What happened there? Alright. So he's just trading. Ashe fucks up. Okay, as you can notice, the wave is coming to him, so he's not looking to do anything. He should just slim it a bit so he doesn't get too big out of hand. Okay, nice. Really good Q right there. So right now he's just trying to cut the wave a bit so it doesn't get out of control. This is way better. It has 5 casters. You can do a freeze with only 4, which would be ideal. But since the casters were not full HP, 5 is just really good. Now he tries to poke a bit more. He's completely fine. Trash is in the bush. He's holding the creeps in his advantage. Keeping the freeze. Because of that freeze, even if he roams like this, he should be the one missing less than. Alright, really good. That was a really poor heal. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Mechanically wise, that fight can be played so much better. But alright. He crashes the wave, which is completely fine. most ADCs would stay here, but I've discussed I discussed with him this previously. A plate worth, so basically 80 gold split between you and your support is not worth delaying your recall and ending up missing maybe even more than a plate after you come back in lane or a full wave. Alright, so he comes back into lane. Because he previously crashed the wave, he has a really good recall with the wave coming into him like this. Now he's a level above. Just saw Trash, but Trash can be hanging around. If Trash were to stay in mid lane or something like that, he would probably be able to zone Ashe completely out of the wave. Yep, supports, you should be the ones doing this, not your ADC. Trade ult for ult is not bad, not great either. It's true that Gragas had a bit slow reactions, which is completely fine. That stuff happens. Alright, he's trying to hold the wave on his side. Not to overextend too much, that was really poor of him. He should never die to that. That was just poor positioning. There was no reason to trade right here, since he doesn't have protection of the minions. Also, his support was AFK position, so you should always take that into consideration when looking to trade. Let's watch it a bit closer. So, besides obviously knowing that this is a good trajectory for Trash to throw a hook, and Slow is quite annoying with her slows. Also, watch the positioning of his support. This means that he's looking to AFK. If he's looking to AFK, you should not do stuff, even if, let's say, not in this case, but in other cases, it might be good to try to do proactive stuff. If your support stays like this, or in the other side, like if you are playing support and your ADC stays like this, then if you look too proactive, you might end up looking like dummy, even if you are looking to do the right play. Obviously, Gragas had his R, had E flash. He could probably turn this around because of item advantages. Didn't happen. You cannot count on your supports or ADCs or dual partner or whatever jungler. That's not the way to play. You should not play off expectations. You should play more. Alright. This should have been a kill if he just pressed W, which is quite poor of him. Not understanding the champion and how it works. This is quite decent. You can just shove the wave, get your reset off. No reason to stay in lane. Alright, great. This is really good. Always try to watch your teammates, know what cooldowns have been blown. Right now, as you noticed, Kiana ult, which is really important. It can be quite impactful, just been used. Alright. He looked for an interesting roam, being the one that shoves the waves first into Ashe. His support is now roaming, so he's like not walking up to the wave because Ashe Arrow and Trash Hook, they were out of vision. If that stuff happens, it's just better to stay out of the vision line. Yep, the instant he shoves a wave, he can back off because he knows that so many people are around. He should not. Yeah, yep, this is really good. If he cannot walk up, and even if Akali comes, he can still not walk up to this because there are potentially 4 people in the area. So a 4v2, even in the scenario where they dive you, it's still problematic. It can backfire quite hard, so just ping your mid laner to shove the wave, make the enemy mid laner respond to it instead of walking up. Alright, so they show, now he walks up. Alright, he shoved the wave. No reason to walk up after he shoved. Right now, instead of going up, he should have gone down, because if they were to check like this, where he is, and they see him, then Ash just comes, shove the wave, and he's dead. He cannot escape that. So this is a bit greedy, his positioning right now. Alright. Decent fight. Right here, Ash could, theoretically, depending on her items, which I cannot see, could opt to freeze this wave right here, and he would end up missing the incoming wave from over here. So also Ash has patterns that she could apply in order to get a better value out of Varus recall time. That recall was not the greatest. Even if he ends up missing only 2 CS, he should have missed more, but Ash managed her waves really poorly, which ends up his mistake not being punished. However, it doesn't make it less of a mistake. Keep that in mind always when you play a game. If you make a mistake and you're not punished for it, it doesn't make it a good play or anything like that. Alright, race shows. This can be quite risky because you do not have vision on many of the enemy teammates, and Trash Lantern with W from the Lee Sin, who can just W on the lantern and then like a gap close, so good. Okay, that was a really good pick. Playing with Fog of War, fake recalls, this stuff is cheesy, but it can work out and it can give you like small advantages in some of the games. Alright. So as you can notice, he's not hitting towers, which is really impactful. I will not further explain that, but just so you know, hitting towers is not always a good thing to do. Draking Drake, great. That team fight looks really bad, so he doesn't walk into it. Now this is quite greedy. Okay, because Trash shows he knows that he can do this safely. Oh, oh, okay, he missed. If he doesn't miss, that's a kill. Unless a really good Ash arrow. Nice team fighting. Really good. Even if he seemed that he didn't do nothing, he did nothing for a reason. Yep, going back, shoving bot lane. Getting a good recall since his teammate inted. He's very strong right now, he has a decent CS ratio. Nice pings. They make 3 picks, they have Mastery, Mountain and Varus, both have Rageblade, they take 3 Baron. Now the game should be over. Really good that he doesn't walk up with a wave, since he doesn't have the safety of his teammates, which are still on recall timings, so he just clears the jungle camps, then he walks up. Alright, let's see this, and let's break it down if anything. So that's an interesting pick. Uh, Personally, I wouldn't throw my art that far, since they do not have any long range abilities which they can just throw at him and kill him. They have Kali, Mastery, and Gragas, which rely on melee range. That was quite a clean listen. This flash right here was terrible. Even if he manages to survive a bit longer and he trades 1 for 1, it's still a really poor trade at this stage in the game. Your flash is more valuable than a kill at if not, it translates into a greater objective. Alright, bouncing waves, making picks, pretty standard. That could have been done a lot better. Mechanically, still didn't make a difference. However, still room to improve. Now this is quite awkward, because they have 3 people dead, and she's farming right here, which is not the best spot to be in when you could simply just come here, take the mid inhibitor. If you end up making a pick or two, if they overextend, you can easily end the game of it. Imagine he would be there. The fight would look so much different. That was really poor of him. That's a good recall. Oh, he kept missing his R's, which is really bad. Just wait top lane. Alright, great. Go back to mid lane. Starts Baron. This can be quite dangerous since they don't have smite. Oh, I do not completely agree with the choice. His team is again mid lane. So yeah, correct, it would be to pressure 2 waves at a time. However, if you let your team do this in lower MMRs, this is quite a, not good, but at least decent MMR. Ah, that was really bad. He should have gotten that kill, 100%. Anyway, staying as ADC in the side lane is not always good. He is quite fat at this point, so it can be fine, but he's also the main damage dealer in his team, so he should not do that. E, really good. Now, the issue comes from him backing off. This is really poor. To click far away and try to back off when she obviously does not have any kill pressure on you when you have your Phantom Dancer and 3/3 of your HP. Right now he should be even further up than his initial position, not further back. So he can, after she gets out of Shroud, also this is really bad, you should not throw abilities if you can just auto attack. So yeah, and then he auto attacks the tower. So this was like a huge misplay. This was like terrible. So even if he was 1 against 1 and his team was 4v4, they still end up losing really hard the fight. Which is the main reason why you shouldn't be in the side lane in the first place. That was really bad. You should never come into such a fight. That was atrocious. He needed to waste his flash just to keep the pressure up on the map. I don't think that wasting your flash there is good, but that's the choice he made. Alright, let's see how this fight begins. Alright, so Mastery doing his randomness. Kiana ult. pretty good auto attacks. General Kali is inting. She's just preparing the wave, which is quite fine. The wave arrives. They are taking finally the inhibitor. Everybody respawns, so because they don't have ults, they should just back off. It's really good. Yep. Pretty cool. Come back. Wait for everybody to be here, then start doing stuff. Alright, Akali is going in. Akali doesn't give a shit. He throwed his R random. Now he can't actually fight. Yep. This is like super bad of his team in general. But also him throwing his R. Alright, he needs to back off now. They will need to surrender that, since if they all three go there and die, then the game might be just over. Okay, fine. Okay, his team is committing really far. Master is AFK. The game should be over. Let's see how this last fight plays out. Oh. R. What? Okay. That's really delayed. Like, that should be a real clear R. R. Okay. Finally. Kite, forward. Okay. Alright, and the game is over. So what we would do after a game has ended, we would take a few pinpoints and establish a fighting plan, let's say, for your next games. Let's just make a pure assumption. In this case would be that he is looking to CS in the mid game when he shouldn't be, and his mechanics in fights were really poor. He kept missing abilities, he kept either committing to bad fights or starting poor fights for his team once, or his mechanics was purely stand in place and auto attack, which is quite bad. You should be able to kite it if you're looking to improve and use auto attack move consistently. So the mechanic of kiting forward was really bad in this game. And yeah, like 2, 3, 4, 5, depending on each student. Couple of things just so you keep them in mind, you have them noted somewhere. Maybe you focus only on them, and that's how your gameplay is improved substantially. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope we will meet soon enough if you're watching this. If you watch this till this point, it means that you might be interested. So who knows?